Welcome to Opensim Living. My name is Spax Orion, and today I am going to discuss with you some tips that I use to keep my inventory count really low. If I open up my inventory folder, you will see that it's reporting that I only have 347 items, and that includes the Opensim library. Now, some of you may be asking, why on earth would you want to even do something like this? Well, for me, the answer is simple. The longer it takes for your inventory to load when you initially log into a virtual world, the longer your avatar is gonna be orange smoke. And depending on how quickly that information is being transferred over to you from your asset server, the longer the wait may be. And this is a common thing we see both in Second Life and on Opensim. So, by managing your inventory, not only are you improving your user experience, but you also develop an a way of organizing all of your content so that you can easily find it and use it when you need it. Now, before I go into today's demonstration, a very quick shout out I'd like to send to Maria and everyone over at hypergridbusiness.com. You just visit hypergridbusiness.com, and there you can get all kinds of information on many things that are Opensim related. And you can also, they also run ads for small grids and businesses that are starting out free of charge. And so it's a great opportunity for, small Opensim businesses to grow. So I highly recommend that you check out some of the many things that you'll run into on there, including visiting the sponsors. Very good stuff indeed. So definitely well worth your time. Okay, so now that I've got my inventory open, I made a special folder called Vitals, and then inside that Vitals folder I keep all the assets for my avatar, calling cards, heads-up displays, and I also have additional working folders because, we're on my working grid right here. Okay, and so I'm just going to wear the contents of the storage folder. Okay, and there are 4 items in here. I have a single prim where I store all of my landmarks. Why have 100 landmarks in your inventory taking up space when you can store them in a prim? I'm not visiting these landmarks very often. So I can just right-click and edit this, and then go into here, and I can grab any link that I want when I want to visit a particular region. So I have it set up that way. Okay, and then on the right here, I also have a script vault. And I store all of my scripts, rather than keeping them as scripts, I store them all on note cards. And it's very convenient, and there's a reason why I do this, rather than just shutting off the scripts and then storing them together with other scripts. Believe me, this button would be doing silly, crazy things like spinning and changing colors and doing all kinds of stuff I really don't want them to do. So it's better that I store that information on a note card. And in this example here, when I opened up animated GIF, there are 2 different cell animations that I have in here, so I can choose which one I want. If I just want to use this animated GIF or cell animation on a single prim, I have that marked out here, so I can just copy and paste into a new script. Or if I want to do it to an entire link set, I have that option available too. And that a good demonstration of that is at Club Ozone, where I have actually done that using this little nifty little trick. So having that link set. So I mean, that's why you would want to store it on a note card. It's just a matter of convenience. Some scripts I will have them inside a prim rather than a note card, so I can just drag and I can just, because there may be tons and tons and tons of scripts inside there. So it just works out for me to be able to have all of my scripts organized in such a fashion. Next, the two items that I have here on the left, you can get these at SimGear Spaceport here in OS Grid Ozone. And these items you can get in our premium freebies area. And I use these items for managing all of my graphics and all of my objects. So instead of having 10,000 items in inventory, all of this information is stored. If it's a graphic, it's stored in my texture vault, and if it is an object, it is stored inside my storage vault. Okay, so some of you saying, yeah, but aren't there plenty enough texture organizers out there? Sure there are. The problem is many of them are too big to fit on a HUD, and rather than try and rework and reverse engineer and figure out ways to shrink them, I decided just to make my own and then have something that I can have on my heads-up display whenever I wish to be able to have quick access to my graphics, and I can easily page through them. And you can see that the asset server is sending the information over to the viewer here, and then I can quickly see what these graphics are and then pick them out and use them. I mean, talk about an excellent time saver. And when you really don't want to be focused on hunting for all kinds of graphics and that sort of thing. So it's just better to have a utility such as this. Okay, and then in the upper left, let's go ahead and remove these utilities that I've already covered. And then the icing on the cake here, my best utility, and really it is so very simple. You could make something like this yourself. I mean, basically all this is 10 boxes, and then one big box is the background here. I know it's hard to see. Okay, but basically this is just a simple nested link set. Okay, and to access my content, now in the root prim I have a crate, and basically there is a script inside the crate that whenever I add contents to it, basically it will give me the floating text will give you a rough analysis of what's inside. How many scripts does it contain? How many objects does it contain? How many clothing items does it contain? How many this, how many that, whatever. And so I have that in there. And I usually will use the crate for storing things. And then all I have to do is just edit linked, choose the link. In this case, this one's labeled Builder Toolbox, and inside here I keep all of my different utilities that I frequently use when building. So let's say I decide to build a new chair and I want to be able to get my put sit targets on the chair. I have that tool readily available. Maybe I might want I make a lot of furniture using the Paramore multi-animated controller, and so I have all of my cheat sheets in a little box called PAMAC from scratch. So I can just go in there, and actually I will be covering that in a later tutorial on using that magnificent software. I'm going to show you how to make animated furniture, and it's going to blow you away when you see how easy that is. So that's coming up. Okay, so I have several utilities that I have that are available, including sounds, and it's just a way to keep everything organized. So basically, all I'm doing is I'm placing items into a box and then putting the box into a category or another box. Very simple, very easy, and then my inventory recognizes this as one item. Even though there are 20,000 items inside this link set, it recognizes it as one item, so it is just a quicker load when you log in. So pretty much that's everything that I have on how I got my inventory count so low. But there are some things I want to cover very quickly in closing. Where would you want to store some of these things? Now, the item such as the texture vault or text locker, as I named it here, you'd want to keep something like that in your inventory. But the storage vault, let's say you're on a grid that does not allow IAR, which is inventory archives. Let's say they don't allow you to make inventory archive backups, okay? Then you'd probably want the storage vault where they do backups on your land, or OAR. OR files will let you store so I used to actually keep my storage vault here on my builder grid, but since I'm now doing daily OR and inventory backups, I just much rather have the content in my inventory backup, because the less downtime that rather than having to restore my entire region, it can be beneficial just to restore the inventory item that I need or whatever. So I find that having this in my inventory works best for me. But there are times you may want to actually have your storage locker maybe on your builder's grid, because it's just more convenient for you. So, you have that flexibility. Well, that's all I have on today's topic. I'm not sure what I'm going to cover next, so that's where you come in. If you have any ideas, you can contact me right here on OS Grid at Ozone, and share some of your ideas with me in World. And if I think it's something that it would be fun to do a video on, I'll be happy to consider doing it. And please comment, like, and subscribe. I'll figure out what I'm going to do next. And until then, peace out.